What's going on, you guys? Jay here, and welcome back to the channel. So if you're looking for some positive news, if you're looking for some bullish momentum today, this is definitely something you might miss. It's stuff that really goes unseen at times, and a lot of people simply aren't paying attention to regulation. Now, the Federal Reserve withdraws restrictive crypto guidance for banks, and at face value, you go, oh, yeah, well, this is actually really good. It could lead to some positive momentum. This is going to lead to a substantial influx of new money coming into the overall crypto sector, the total crypto market cap, if you will. And again, a lot of people up there going to overlook this. They're not really going to understand. And a lot of us understand here on the channel. And I know a lot of you are well aware of Operation Choke Point 2.0, and this is essentially the people behind the scenes, if you will, having to holster the guns. They're having to step back and let this thing take root. Now, the US Federal Reserve has pulled back on rules that previously made it harder for banks to work with cryptocurrencies and stable coins. And in a press release published by the agency on April 24th, the Federal Reserve said it will no longer require state member banks to give advance notice before launching or participating in crypto related activities. Instead, these activities will now be reviewed under the usual bank supervision process. This move marks a shift from the Fed's earlier stance, which called for the extra caution due to potential risks tied to digital assets. The Fed also cancelled its 2023 guidance that limited how banks could engage with stablecoins or dollar tokens. In addition, the Fed, alongside the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation and the Office of Comptroller of the Currency, withdrew from two joint statements made the same year. Those earlier warnings had emphasized the risk of fraud, misinformation, volatile money flows related to cryptocurrency companies. One of the withdrawn statements warned that deposits from cryptocurrency firms may be unpredictable and lead to abrupt outflows, while another voiced concerns about the industry's lack of consumer protections, legal clarity, and transparency. Now, this is definitely coming on the back wind of Operation Choke Point 2.0, and it was a bit of a myth up until a certain point. There was only this historical basis to really go on with Operation Choke Point 1.0. And back in February, so February 6th, 2025, I was listening to this hearing. It was very nice to see them coming forward and really being honest on what the Biden administration had put a lot of their efforts into. And that was putting crypto in the crosshairs. And they had stated that they'll be ending Operation Choke Point 2.0. And it was carried out by the prudential regulators to target and debank the digital asset ecosystem. And like I said, this isn't new. In the beginning of 2013, Obama's Department of Justice enlisted bank regulators in the first iteration of Operation Choke Point. Obama's Choke Point targeted gun manufacturers, payday loan companies, energy industry, and other business in legal industries that were disfavored by the Obama administration. And this really becomes a situation of two-tier regulating. They create these choke points and say, well, we're being fair, we're being honest, but they're not. The Biden administration was really no different. So seeing all of this positive news coming out and the ability for these companies to actually deal with cryptocurrency, and even coming down to a very basic startup company in crypto, diving in, dipping their toe, being able to actually have a reputable bank account. These are very important things if you want to create a startup, if you want to have the ability to interact with that all important financial sector. And it definitely goes both ways. And you're probably sat there thinking, well, Jay, what could we expect? What is going to be the inflow? What are we really looking at when it comes down to this removal of Operation Choke Point 2.0? And I would say, look at the entire stock market. We're going to see a dramatic shift of investments going into the stock market, instead going into Web3, this new evolving technology, blockchain technology, startups, protocols. Everything from A to Z is going to be involved. And the likelihood is, yeah, all of these bigger players in the space are moving towards it. We've got some pretty interesting news dropping in regards to SUI and Pokemon having a possible collaboration. Definitely keep an eye out for that one later today. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on the way out. It's really going to help us out here on the channel, and it's going to help keep you up to date. When you look at some of the key players here, you've got Nvidia, you've got AMD, you've got Google, you've got Apple, you've got Microsoft. These are all very small companies in a very niche market to begin with that are now the driving force behind the stock market itself, being the prominent and dominant factors in most of our lives, even Amazon providing you with all of your everyday deliveries. We're walking into a different time, something that is going to be very unusual for a lot of people as the norm becomes the old and the new becomes the norm. Regulations coming thick and it's coming fast, and this is going to lead to a huge boom in the stablecoin market. And if there's going to be a $3.7 trillion stablecoin market by 2030, well, how big is this going to make the overall total crypto market cap as every other cryptocurrency evolves and grows alongside that stable market? You guys, this is going to be absolutely huge, especially for us, that very small percentage of this niche market that is beginning to captivate a lot of these key players. A lot of people are wanting to get involved in crypto, and this is really good for your bag. Regulations, and I'm going to keep saying it, they're coming thick and they're coming fast. They're going to create a rule book. You need to understand that when you go and you file your taxes, there's do's and there's don'ts. There is the right way to do your taxes, and there's the way that might get you a life sentence in jail. This rulebook allows people to self-regulate, if you will. It allows them to go, okay, this is what we're going to build. This is how it complies with regulations. And this is how the end user is going to utilize it. This is what it's really going to drive. It allows people to take an idea and fabricate it to actually design and build this thing in this evolving ecosystem. And it's going to be great for all of us. Our bags are going to pump alongside this. There's going to be a lot of purchases, I think, over the course of the next few years as people like Microsoft, as people like Apple, Nvidia, AMD, Google, Amazon, all of these key players start to buy startups inside crypto that are already existing inside this very niche market. And yeah, it's a niche market, you guys. The other 98% are simply not invested in crypto. They don't understand it. They don't know how to use it. They don't even really grasp the very simple concept of what Bitcoin is supposed to do. So there's supposed to be this big monetary shift. There's supposed to be this big move that's pending. And I believe it's going to come on the tailwind of regulation. It's going to come with the ability for companies to, like I said, self-regulate and evolve in this ecosystem, this growing market. This is very positive for crypto overall. And I'm very certain we're going to see a huge shift in the stock market as they move into either create assets in crypto or just purchase them overall and start to really capitalize on this growing market. Money's the driving force behind absolutely everything, and that's why you're involved in crypto. But guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Let me know what you got planned for your weekends. And like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notifications bell to stay informed. I'm going to catch you in the next one.